everybody. I just wanted to take a minute to make one of my favorite quick, easy, and delicious recipes. Ice cream cookies. They're called ice cream cookies not because they have ice cream in them, but because they're so good that you can eat them with ice cream, or you can take the cookies and make an ice cream sandwich out of it. Now I've already preheated the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. So now we have our basic ingredients. We want to add an egg to our container. Just one just average, medium, or large size egg. Half a cup of sugar. Let me give you a better view. A cup of flour. One stick of butter, melted lightly. And a teaspoon of vanilla flavoring. Whoops. It's a brand new bottle. So, a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Adding all the ingredients to the dish. I mix it until it's thoroughly mixed, meaning that all the wet and the dry ingredients are blended together. Now, you can use a hand mixer. You can use the old-fashioned crank hand mixer or the electric hand mixer. I have both of those, but I just prefer to use a fork to do my mixing. And as you notice, there really wasn't a lot of ingredients. Just that one egg, half a cup of sugar, cup of flour, teaspoon of vanilla. I use pure vanilla extract. You can use almond flavoring if you want to. If you want to make it as peanut butter cookies instead, use a tablespoon full of peanut butter. And as you see in that little bit of time, everything is thoroughly mixed until it's nicely moistened. So, I'm going to take this tablespoon now and scoop up spoonfuls of it. And it's soft enough that I can pat it in my hand, flatten it out a little bit, and I will put it on my cookie sheet. My cookie sheet is covered with parchment paper. If you don't want to use parchment paper, you can always just sprinkle some flour on there. I'm going to keep them decently spaced, like 1 or 2 inches between them, because even though I'm patting them out, they still will spread as they cook. I'm only going to prepare about a half a dozen right now. And the rest I'll be able to put in some plastic wrap and put in the freezer and take out on another day. Just like those that you buy in the store that comes in the tube already, and you just take it out and you slice it and you put it on in the pan. Same sort of thing in this situation. So, got a half a dozen on my sheet. Oven, I said, is preheated to 375. When you're preheating, you're going to want to let that happen, for like 10 minutes or so before you're ready to put anything in there, because you want to make sure that everything cooks thoroughly. You want the temperature to really be that temperature that you have it set at. So, in about 8 minutes or so, that will be ready to pull out the oven. But while we're here, let's talk about food. Really. This is the time of year when many people fast. I'm not saying that everyone fasts, but many people do fast. And what's that whole purpose of fasting? Some fast for religious purposes, to build or strengthen their faith relationship with God. Other people fast because of health related things. Maybe their doctor tells them they're going to fast before they have a procedure or before they have blood work done at a clinic. So people fast for all kinds of different reasons. You know, fasting really is that break in time from one meal one day to the first meal that next day. That's kind of your fast time. Like if you ate at 6 p.m. today and then you didn't eat anything else until 8 in the morning tomorrow, most people call that breakfast. Breakfast is breaking the fast. But people that are fasting for religious purposes or medical purposes or other reasons, they may go from sunrise to sunset without eating anything. But if you're going to fast, it's always important to remember to talk to your doctor or healthcare professional so they know what's going on. Because if you have some underlying health conditions, there are times when you may or may not be able to fast in a way that other people are doing it. Some people do the Daniel's fast for a couple of weeks or however long. And the Daniel's fast comes from the book of Daniel in the Bible, where he only ate pulse, as they called it. He only ate vegetables. He didn't eat any meat. He didn't drink any milk. All he had was the vegetables and had his water. And at the end of his time of fasting, he still looked healthy, felt healthy. It works. I've actually tried that one and it has worked for me. But as I mentioned, it's important to talk to your healthcare professional if you're going to go on a fast. If you're trying to lose weight and you're fasting as a way of losing weight, remember that your body still is going to need some nutrients, especially if you're very busy through the day and you're walking and you're doing other things. You still are going to need to be able to have that energy to make it through the day. And some people, when they fast, they're doing nothing else but just letting go of that one meal. Turning the plate over for 1 or 2 meals. And then they have a regular supper time meal or whatever. Some people, when they fast, it's just water for however long, whatever amount of time. That's all they have is water. Water is important because our body needs water every day anyway. But if you're on a fast and you're starting to feel queasy or funny, even if you've already talked to your healthcare professional and said, hey, I'm going to be doing this fast. If you start not feeling right in your body, take those clues from your body and contact that healthcare professional again, because it's important to be safe about your own personal health. It really is important. And for people that have gone on extended fasts for 1 or 2 or 3 weeks, where sunrise to sunset, they're not eating anything and they're just eating that one meal in the evening, and they're doing that for 2, 3, 4 weeks. If you're doing that type of a fast, please remember that when you come off of that, you should try to not eat a lot of goodies. Try not to eat things that are going to really hurt you. You know, eat healthier things, and you can transition your way back into having other things. Some people say they fast from watching television, and it could be a good thing to have the TV turned off sometimes, because sometimes there's stuff that you don't really want to see. Some people fast from drinking coffee. And if you've been a serious long-time coffee drinker, then it's going to be kind of challenging because you may find yourself having headaches. But remember to stay with it and to endure. Let me check on how things are coming. In a few minutes, that will be ready. So, well, I paused the camera for a minute because I know we're getting really close to these cookies being ready. So, while we're waiting on that last couple of minutes, I'm going to show you when the cookies come out. You can always eat them plain. I enjoy eating them plain, or like I said, as an ice cream sandwich. Take one cookie, put some vanilla ice cream in the middle, put the other cookie on the top. But you can cover it with rich, creamy icing of whatever flavor that you like, or you can use sprinkles. I buy these containers. I have containers with a variety of types of sprinkles in them. So it's just another way to dress things up a little bit and make it delicious. Cookies are done, as you can see. I could have cooked them longer if I wanted them crunchy, but I like the soft, chewy cookie, and this is just right for me. I'll let it cool down, and then I'll be able to ice it up. So, back in a minute. And I'm back again. Cookies are still a little bit warm, but I wanted to show you how easily that icing can spread over it while it is warm. Don't need a ton of icing. Just enough. Then I'll add some pink sprinkles to it. Or perhaps a couple of different colors of sprinkles. But your cookies, your ice cream cookies, are perfect. Perfectly cooked. You cook them for 8 to 10 minutes at 375 degrees. If you're cooking them at 425 degrees, they'll still get done in about that same amount of time if you want a crunchier cookie. If you want your cookies soft, chewy, and delicious, cook them at 375. If you want them more crunchy, you cook them at 425. So, pretty quick, pretty simple, and always delicious. So, give it a try. Add something different. Add peanut butter, the tablespoon of peanut butter, and maybe a handful of chocolate chips to your dough. See how you like that. Or if there's other flavors that you really appreciate, like almond extract or banana, try those things and see how that works for you. You just don't want to go overboard by using too much flavoring, because too much flavoring can be worse than not having enough. And don't want to leave the eggs out. Even if you need to use like an egg substitute or just egg whites, if you leave the eggs out, you'll experience what my sister experienced when she made some cookies once, and she didn't put eggs in, and the more we chewed those cookies, the more they were like cement.